Mm. Mm. I like that. That's funky. You probably can't hear very well. It's coming off my phone.
I can hear it.
Oh yeah, you got it. You got it. All right. What's up, party people? Welcome to the Jerkmonger Show live from Tampa, Florida, and also California, because my man Lafayette is on the other side of the country. He's in the past and I'm in the future.
That is true.
Because that is how these things work. So, did you see this? I know we just came off of a little stint over on Twitch. What do you think about that?
You know, it's just, I think Facebook has more reach. That's pretty much what it is.
You know? YouTube, yeah.
I mean, YouTube, yeah. Facebook, I mean, nobody does the Facebook live. You know what I mean? But the YouTube has much more reach. Yeah.
The YouTube's is definitely much more that, but at the same time, there are some benefits that I hear are on the Twitches. So sometimes it's kind of interesting to explore it. I just don't, you know, I'm definitely making sure that I have the space in my brain to tackle all this. There's nothing wrong with spreading out, you know, the what do you call it, over on a different platform, and hopefully spreading the news about whatever, you know, we're doing. But sometimes it could be a little like meh.
Well, I think the thing with Twitch is that not everybody wants to download the app or sign up for something else. And YouTube is like almost automatic for people to have already. It's either already installed on their phone and they have a Google account, which already logs you into YouTube. So it just makes it so much more convenient.
Yeah. Robert Vera says, "Hola, es veterano." Well, good to see you, veterano. Rodwell Stevens says, "Hi." And Noel Taylor, I sent you a thing, Nolan. It's in the I sent it to you in Twitter. So come on in. Nolan is one of my boys. Want to bring him into the show, and I'm gonna share your screen now, Lafayette, so we can see what you're working on.
Oh, do you really want to see it?
Yes. Oh, snappy. Oh, I love it, man. I love it. That's cool, man.
That's Gordon's Bedtime Adventures.
Oh, that's great. That's great. You should put like a paper texture over it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the cover. So I'm kind of, I don't know what I was thinking the same thing, you know, put some type of like filter.
Yeah, make it look a little more organic. That'd be helpful. That would make that really look like, oh snap, this is cool. This is cool.
Yeah,
I found a good one.
You what?
I found a good one when I was searching that I thought was pretty good.
Oh.
I'll send it to you.
Oh, you know what I got? I got black and red.
What? You did?
Black and red. Now, let's go. Of course, we can't really go through with people because we want you to purchase it, not, you know, get the teacher's cheat sheet. I mean, you can't purchase it anymore, but you know.
No, yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
But I'm gonna give you my top 5 favorite of the book. Okay. Top 5 favorite. Right. Okay. I really like X-23.
Oh yeah, she's good. Very bloody.
I just think the angle is really good.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. I really enjoy Thanos.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good one. What do you call it? What's her name? Oh, Miss Marvel. I dig it.
Yeah. That was a fan favorite for sure.
Yeah, that one's cool. You know, your Catwoman. It's nice. It kind of looks like the actress that actually plays Catwoman on the Gotham TV show.
I didn't try that, but I didn't intend that. But that was
yeah.
You know, she has that curly hair, and the way I drew with a little bit of around her head.
Yeah. The Spider-Man's cool. He's pulling off the symbiote. I like it. I like it. I mean, I've seen you draw most of these all live. Like the Wolverine's cool. He got a lot of blood there. I don't know. I mean, everything's cool in the book. I mean, there's not one that I go, oh, why did he put this one in here? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Mark Deering? How you doing, brother? Yeah, man. We tried to pick the ones that were the most popular, the ones that we thought were the best. Like that was those were some of the criterion that we used, and then you know, fan favorites and stuff like that that people would respond to. But overall, man, I'm really happy with the end result of the book. The overall presentation I thought came out pretty cool.
Were there any that were on the fence where you're like, oh, this one or maybe that one? Like, is there one in the book that almost didn't make the book?
Well, the Joker on the inside front cover. So what I tried to do is make sure that every as much as we could put in there was put in there. So if we could put in, you know, if I could have, I would have doubled up on some if I could, but you wouldn't have to appreciate the artwork as well at that size. So yeah. So we there was we had a bunch of the taller ones. Remember the ones that I did? I did a Colossus.
Yep.
And I did a gargoyle, Goliath from Gargoyles. I started with those, but you know, well, not quite Goliath. Nobody. I mean, I like Goliath, but nobody else liked Goliath. What do you call it? But no, but there was an option. We were thinking about the two Jokers. It was one or the other, but I decided to kind of like bookend it with those two, because the first one that you see on the inside cover was actually one of the very first. I meant to put that as a little note, but I neglected to do that before we sent it to print. But it was one of the first ones that I actually did that kind of opened the door for that, the Black and Red series. In fact, that was the first one I called Black and Red. I had done the Black and Red similar to that in other things, but that was the thing for it. I'm gonna switch back and forth here.
Didn't you do a Punisher for the Black and Red, or?
No, I never did a Punisher.
Oh.
So we're kind of on the fence about how we're going to handle these going forward. If you know, one of the things I'm trying to do is produce more of my own stuff, and at some point, you know, trying to settle down on like, okay, what's the next book going to be? It's not to say that there can't be a Black and Red Volume 2 that is mostly, you know, could be superhero related, but I really want to. Someone asked earlier in one of my other live streams today if I was going to do an art book that was perhaps just sketches like this, and I said, you know, actually, that's really what I want to do. Is I'm interested in doing art books more than anything. Sharing my art that way is, to me, way more interesting than what I've been doing.
Well, you know, people like cons love that way more than they say. Let's say like buying a book that like has finished product in it. You can sell all these sketches you've been doing, even sketches of, you know, already, you know, Superman, whatever. But they love the sketchy stuff. They love the behind the scenes type of feel to it. You know, like what you're doing right now. People would probably want. I'll be honest. You probably sell more of that than you would the Black and Red. Because it's just like I said, people love to see the pencils and you know, they just don't like this. People like the finished product, but they rather have the, you know, the raw material type of stuff. You know?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, that's kind of where my head is at with this stuff. I feel like, to me, I'm way more interested in when a creator produces something that's different and fresh. Much more than I would be if I was looking at someone drawing Batman again. I mean, Batman artists exist already, so we don't need more of them, in my opinion. That's not fair. I mean, I'm not trying. I shouldn't state it that way. That's not exactly correct.
No, but I know what you mean.
I'm saying, like, what I mean is,
why do I need Elliot's Batman? Give me something fresh, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I mean. Like, people are tired of my Batman, probably, and actually, that's probably pretty true. But when I start creating stuff like this, you know, like you commented earlier on this guy, thinking that this guy was pretty cool. I'm liking this guy too, as an interesting, addition to my concept here. And I like the idea of giving, like, I would never draw that character, that pirate girl, if it wasn't for this concept I'm building up. And and I get to do things like this, where I get to invent a technology for this guy. And I don't usually care about that so much. I'm not really one to be like, oh my gosh, like. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh my gosh, it's my dream. If I could just draw Spider-Man, it'd be so awesome. It's okay. It's all right. I draw Spider-Man enough on commissions, and he's not my favorite guy to draw. He used to be, but or was one of them, but not anymore. So creating new things and seeing someone's interpretation, or even if it's an interpretation of even like a classic stuff like mythology, I'm always interested in that. I guess it's because we don't see enough of it anymore. It seems like most of the stuff we see today is modern stuff, like superhero stuff.
Oh, for sure. And the characters you're creating here, so people know, this is for the book you've had it in your mind for quite a while.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned earlier, this is, well, sort of. This is actually kind of evolving into I'm borrowing parts of stories that I was working on from quite a while back. I'm kind of creating a new thing. And this actually shifted just this morning into something different. I'm embracing my nostalgia, and I'm thinking, what am I nostalgic for? And it's this sort of thing. So yeah. In short, yes.
No, it looks, like I said, what I see looks great. I mean, everything. I mean, I look at those characters and think to myself, okay, what are the backgrounds and who's this guy? I want to know more. Like, okay, the fella in the middle.
This guy here.
Yeah, let's go back to your page real quick. Okay, that guy in the middle with like the little, I don't know what you call it, man bun in the back or ponytail, or he's on the right side of the page on the left side.
This guy.
Let's see. Not the guy you're drawing now.
No, this guy right here.
Yeah. Like, what's his background? And people, I mean, the characters look interesting enough to go, okay, what's the deal? What's, like, in culmination, I see all these characters and I want to know how they tie in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what people like to see. They love to see this build up, and because what you're doing now is you're building. We've talked about this before, but you're already building an audience for this book without actually doing anything. Without showing any of the book. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this is how we've talked about this before. Your Indiegogo campaign really lifts off, because if you just show these type of things with a mocked up cover, already people are like, this is so cool. What is this? What's this guy about? I mean, your main character already looks freaking badass, right? So it really comes down to how you position the promo piece. That's really going to pull people in. And then you show these pieces and all of the sketch and and you know how it is, different tiers. But the guy that pays, $200 tier, oh yeah, you get an original sketch, whatever it is, sketch page or whatever else, doodling, or the guy that pays $300, but whatever it is.
Right.
People love it. They eat it up. I mean, it's like I said, I look at these drawings, I'm like, these look freaking badass. Like, what is this about? I mean, I know what it's about, but you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's changing, man. So you almost don't know what it's about.
You've changed it. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. From the main characters, look, you've definitely changed it. Just altogether, because he did not look anything like that.
Well, do you remember? So remember, I was working on Jerkmonger for a bit.
Yep.
And so this guy replaces Jerkmonger.
No, that I know.
Yeah. So then this hair, actually, I think I'm going to take him to a version that I had originally. Like, see how this guy's hair is more of like a tuft? That was the Jerkmonger hair. I like that look too. Someone tried to clown me and was like, "Oh, is that supposed to be like some kind of SJW?" I'm like, "No, shut up. It's just a cool, different. How do you make something look different, for crying out loud?"
Wait, who did they say it looked like?
No, someone was trying to say that. Is that supposed to be some sort of like coded, hipster thing? Like,
gotcha.
It's just a thing, man. It's just cool, different hairstyle, for crying out loud. That everything has to be a damn political battle, I swear. But anyway, so yeah, I'm excited, man, because of that. Because I feel like this is something you guys have never seen. I mean, you may have seen stuff similar to this, but it's not anything that you've seen in production yet, or in publication. You know, it's just a new flavor, new flavor in your ear.
Yeah, like Craig Mack would say, you're correct.
Yeah. Kicking new flavor in your ear.
Yeah, I'm kicking new flavor in your ear.
Circle Jerk says art books are rad as hell. Go for it. That's what I'm talking about, dog. That's what I'm doing. Retro Graphic Books LLC says, are you taking commissions currently? Well, as a matter of fact, Retro Graphics, if you'd like to request a commission, you can go to visit my art rep at, I'll put it in the chat. It's at thelabcomics@gmail.com. Lab, I can type very slow at this angle, at gmail.com for commissions. Commission information or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, there you go. Christopher Ryan says, looks cool as hell. I like it when somebody steps off the zeitgeist mentality. Hell. Pretty soon someone's going to say, go to hell. I'll be excited. Tresnan, Dr. Dictionary in the house. Oh, what's up? That's my boy. Sketch, what's going on? Discúlpame, llegué tarde, pero me acordé de tuitearlo. Oh. Nice. Hey, as a matter of fact, that's a good idea. I'm going to go ahead and I didn't think to do that. Yeah, I need to go ahead and tweet this out. Yeah, I'm going to put Epic Doodles 19 right now.
Yeah, like I said, no, it looks cool. I mean, you really got to think about the tiers too of your campaign. Like, I mean, what would be the highest tier? What would somebody get? Pay $1,000 and get like a lunch with you anywhere in the country.
It'd have to be, it has to be like down the street.
Right? They can only be in the Tampa area.
Yeah. I can't fly nowhere, man. I've been flying a lot lately. I got a show this weekend in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a monster show. Here, let me put the thing back on us. It's a monster show, which is great, except that it's like a 3-day show, 4-day show, and I'm going to be out of town again, and I'm just like, and I'm missing stuff with my family. That's driving me crazy, man. It's driving me freaking crazy.
Well, I mean, you're putting in work, putting in work.
Well, yeah, I know. It's true. This guy here is cool. This guy's mysterious. Who's this guy with the weird beard and the extra little knots? It's got little, like this guy. This guy's, I don't know what he is yet. I think I know who he is, but he was originally a drawing for what I thought this hero was going to be. But I've adjusted, and so he's not that guy anymore. But what's going on with this bandana thing?
I know, he looks like he's Naruto. I like it. So the people, I'm pretty sure they've heard us talk about your book before and what it's about and so forth. I don't know if we really want to give them a recap, but if you can give them a quick, my old 30-second synopsis on the book, go ahead, break it down.
So before I get into that, I'm going to give that, but I'm going to give this little thing. I'm going to stop sharing too much of this soon because I want it to be more of a surprise as time goes.
Well, yeah, you got to definitely keep, you can't give it all away like I was saying,
But I would say think of it this way. It's a cross between it's Battle Chasers meets Diablo 3.
That's funny you say that. I'm looking at the characters and they have that feel to it.
Yeah. Which feel?
Kind of the Battle Chasers feel to it,
Yeah, I think it's because they're all smiling. They're all happy.
Well, I mean,
also,
the Power Girl, she looks like a gypsy girl, what's her name in Battle Chasers? Red
Monica.
Yeah. Kind of have, they don't have the same look, but you know what I mean? Here's the sexy, big, voluptuous woman. Your main character just looks like he's just an older dude that is going to beat everybody's ass. I mean, there's a reason why he has one eye. He's been through some stuff.
He's got this too. See the mechanical arm.
I saw that. Yeah. I was wondering who that belonged to. Yeah. So he's basically lost his left hand.
Yeah.
Man, things have really gone awry.
And this thing's a crystal.
Yeah, I see that.
That powers that makes it work.
What you know what you're creating right now? All you're doing is you're creating your own video game. You're just toiling around with, you're expanding the universe already by making people go, oh, that's cool. I want that and I want this.
Yeah.
And explain the fella in the upper right there.
This guy?
It's also to the left of us, yes.
Okay, so yeah, I think for you it's reverse, right? For the Hangouts. So this guy here, well, I'm going to draw him here. This guy becomes, well, he's actually smaller than that. He becomes this guy. So in my story, this character is going to be like a, he's going to be my Hulk, a Banner to Hulk ratio in the story.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm excited, man. He's going to see, this is him. This is probably smaller than that. I want him to be about good 8 to 10 feet tall. So he's going to be very vulnerable when he's transformed.
Wait, so he's a good fella?
Good fella.
Is he? I mean, is he a good guy, bad guy? Is he?
Oh yeah. He like, this is not the right size to her.
No, I hear you.
If this should, he would probably fit right here, like he's a little squirrel guy.
Gotcha.
Okay? He's a tiger. He's a tiger squirrel.
He's a mascot. Okay.
Yeah, I made him up. Tiger squirrel. See, he's cute. This is I'm making my toy. This is gonna be my stuffed animal toy.
I see that. Oh no, it's like I said, it's you're definitely building it. To me, you're building it more compared to which way you're going prior. You're definitely getting a wider audience now.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, the last idea was good, and we talked about it after the fact, after one of these little doodle shows. And this is definitely going to reach a wider audience,
Yeah, I think so. And that was the point. I got a little beat up in the conversation I was having, not purposefully either. It was someone was just making comments, and I was like, you know what? I hear what they're saying. It wasn't so much a comment. It wasn't even at what I was doing. It was just an overall thing I heard someone say, and I thought, I think that there's a lot of wisdom in that. So I decided to shift a bit. And this evolved from another story I had started because there was some of what I was working on also was part of this. You see how his relationship is to her here? Yep. So now you know what this becomes this, and this is actually the wrong. This is probably more like, I need to get a better hanging camera system. He's probably more like this now.
It's almost like I mean, she's almost like Pitt, you know what I mean? Like, she just has that side character that, I mean, there's no real relationship. Was their relationship explained, or is just more or less, is he just a mythical character that? But then again, we don't want to get into it too much, though, do we?
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying.
Let's just make stuff up. No one will know.
So this guy was a taxi driver.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
I got you.
Switched to Uber.
Okay. And she drives Lyft. I got you.
Yeah, right. And then now they found love.
And the guy on the far left is Hulk Hogan. There you go.
That's right, brother.
Oh yeah. So your main character, because prior, people, like I said, again, this whole tone has shifted. He didn't really have, say, a costume in a sense, where it seems like your new design, he will have some type of outfit that will make him stand out. Would that be the proper way to explain it?
Yes, I would have to say yes to that. The initial thoughts. Are you talking about? Wait, are we referencing the Jerkmonger version of this?
No, we're referencing the original version where, remember, you were playing off of like a Bruce Willis.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So that idea Um, yeah, that idea is still on the table for other stuff, but it's just not right now. I decided, yeah, I see what you mean now. You know what the other problem was? I've been noticing a lot of that idea that we are referencing here. Everybody else is like, what are they talking about? Just bear with us, guys. Just bear with us, because I can't give away too much information. Because some of that stuff is still worth considering for the future. It's just that right now there is already so many of those ideas out there that deal with.
Yeah. We talked about that. Remember the primary book that's out at the moment we talked about? And
actually, you know what's funny? I found I was going through. I don't know what I know. I was it. I think it's on Indiegogo now or something. I saw this artist doing some kind of book that almost felt the exact same way.
Oh, really?
It had an older guy in a shirt and tie and everything.
What a bunch of crap.
Well, that reminds me also because when I remember when Red first came, not Red, what was the other one that came out? The Brit. I remember Brit came out when I first developed this, and I was like, they beat me to it then too. But you can't really go by that all the time. You have to kind of just go with what you got and just leave it as it is. Because just because something else exists out there, I mean, people buy that stuff all the time and just they'll take it. Like Hollywood studios will buy that idea because they're developing something very similar. So it's okay. But I just remember thinking, you know what though, there's already stuff out there that's so similar, and it's not even worth it at that point for me. So I just decided.
So basically, that idea is scrapped. You're not taking anything from that idea to this book. This is an all new idea then.
Other than the fact that it's got some inspiration from Diablo, the game.
That's yeah. But the story is basically not anything like we were talking before.
Nothing like that. No, nothing.
No more Lovecraft inspired.
No, there's Lovecraft stuff in it for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, it's a darker gothic horror fantasy concept.
Yeah. But, I got you.
But I'm not going for that particular story with what I had. So this is all about. This is going to be more of like a good old fashioned romp.
Yeah.
So I said Battle Chasers. I would include in there. I would include Battle Chasers meets Diablo meets Indiana Jones. But
okay.
Nothing to do with the 1930s.
Yeah. I got you. And that's all you people get for today when it comes to this story. Just enjoy the drawings, okay?
That's right. Man. This is just sketching.
So many questions that I'm the only one asking.
I know. How dare you people let Lafayette ask those questions?
I mean,
so what's up with you, man? What's going on with you? I know you're working on your book.
How's just the kid's book. I basically draw the pages while I'm working. And I laid out the first 5, and now it's just me, going at it, blah, blah, blah. Nice. So that's pretty much it on that. I mean, nothing more. I already gave you the whole layout of it where he's, the kid, Gordon goes to bed. He joins his adventures in bed and in his dreams, and it's always a different adventure. And the first book is that he has to stop an ice cream, which is basically an ice cream villain, and he tastes like tomato and raisins. He wants to turn all the world's ice cream to tomato and raisins flavor, and our hero must stop him because kids relate to that. They don't want their ice cream to be tomatoes and raisins, so somebody must stop him. Yeah,
I know, it's true.
So, my character's hero name happens to be, it's very, very coincidental. Jerkmonger. I don't know how that happened.
Well, gee, that's
I don't know. I know. Do you have a lawyer?
No.
No, you should get one because I'm totally ripping you off.
That's fine.
As your lawyer in the matter, I think we have a case here, Eric. Elliot.
Wait a second. He has a lawyer, and he happens to pop up now when I'm talking about ripping him off.
Oh, look what just happened! My lawyer appeared.
What a bunch of bullshit!
What's up, no man? How's it going?
What's going on? I don't know. The lighting is going to be terrible. My connection is terrible. Somebody's getting a phone call right now.
Yeah, don't worry about that. It's a work call. It's my lawyer calling me.
Trying to countersue.
Yeah, he's watching this on YouTube. He's like, "What's this shit about?"
That's awesome.
What's up,
I
Heck? How
forgot
you
to-
doing, man?
I forgot to take my phone out of the case here.
Right on, no, right on. I'm glad to see you, brother. We've been trying to get this thing going for weeks.
What's that?
I said we've been trying to get this thing going for weeks.
Yeah, that's true. And then 2 ships passing in the night. My work schedule sucks, and
mine sucketh as well. So, Nolan, talk about what you do. Tell us a little bit about yourself, so people can get used to you.
Nobody cares.
Everyone cares.
If you're on my show, everybody cares.
Nobody cares. I am nobody.
Give me a second. Everybody in the chat group, please put the number 1 if you care for what Nolan's got going on. Once we hit 5, you can speak.
Okay. All right. Well,
this is taking way too long.
It's gonna be a long way.
That's funny. That's funny how the delay always ruins that. You got a 1, 2 1s.
Right?
Muttman gave you a 1.
Well, we got 2. I'm gonna give you 1 also. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, you can't do that. Then you're
bam. We got 4. We've reached it. We got 6. Somebody put 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, like LL Cool J.
Bam.
Okay. Now the stage is yours.
You don't have to give us all your info. Just tell us what you like to.
Secrets are going to come out. They're going to be. They're going to be outside my door. It's going to be weird.
No, don't tell them where you work. Just tell them.
Don't tell them where you live.
I'm going to be trying to throw my garbage away. They're going to be like, "What are you doing? Throwing my garbage away? Why are you here?" This is
because he gave you a 1.
He gave you a 1, dude.
They're still giving you 1s, man. They're still giving you 1s. Rodwell gave you a 1. Sketch Therapy gave you a 1. So
still racking up.
Awesome. Damn, I'm popular. All right, so I am. So I'm Noel Taylor Art on Instagram. I am not at all in the industry. Don't look for me there. You won't find me on any book anywhere. You'll probably find me reading books. I'm an avid fan of H.G. Wells. What?
People don't read that much.
People don't. Who's that? Is that the guy that's in that movie?
Exactly.
Yeah. I do a lot of cartoon stuff, a lot of animation.
So like you just cut off like C-3PO.
People
are people.
And they're like, can you draw this character? I think that'd be really great. And I'm like, no, because you're not going to pay me to do that, and I think that character's lame, so I don't do it. I entertain the notion. It's usually a no, but I entertain the notion. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding about all of that.
No, he's
not.
not.
To him. No, I really am. I'm 12% joking about it.
What's going on, Toon? What's going on?
I've been a friend of Elliot for a while, and you actually, if you guys are on Twitch, I think some of you probably are, and you've bombed around the likes of, say, Eric Kennedy and Johnny Lighthands, Michael DiNicola, all of those guys' streams. You probably have seen me there under the guise of the Panther King. That would be me. And Tony Moy is another friend of mine. You've probably encountered me in one form of the other, but so that's kind of what I do. I have friends in the industry. I don't work in the industry. I've never really wanted to work in the industry. I just like to draw, and I just draw some cool stuff. I don't even sell my art, to be honest. So, and I like cartoons and comics and stuff, and kind of a dork, just like the rest of us.
Well, you are welcome here, my friend. You are welcome here, because this is where dorks be. So we're all right. You're in good company.
Anyway, because what?
What happened?
What you said? Huh? What?
Say that again. Okay.
What?
Because you keep cutting out like a robot.
Oh shit! Awesome.
Like a robot in a black hole.
Sweet, because I was like, I'm gonna be at your house tomorrow, huh?
So perfect. No one heard a thing.
Beautiful.
So actually, it's funny you say that. I was just talking to Lafayette. Lafayette and I go way back to, is it I think you and I go way back to Twitch, right?
Man, yeah, shit.
That's where we started. Yeah, so we started on Twitch, and then he followed me over to Instagram, and then we were on there for a while, and then from there we came here to YouTube, and that's where we are now. So, but ironically, we were just talking about. I was on Twitch a little while ago, testing out the waters again, seeing how I like it. Not sure yet about it. I'm still
Feel
trying
dirty. Feel a little dirty.
It does feel a little dirty. I think I like YouTube a little more, but yeah, I'm looking for every opportunity to expand my reach and get more eyes on the future projects. So if that means spending a little time and just sharing some of my work with people, that's not a big deal.
Well, you don't have to worry about being partnered on here, do you? Like, is that a thing?
No, but it's a little. There is a thing on YouTube about you have to have like so many subscribers, which I think I have enough subscribers. I just don't have enough watch time, and so it behooves me. That's only to get monetized. So that way I can do super chats and people can start throwing money at me for all kinds of foolishness. But I'll make sure it'll be worth their while, as much as that's possible. But I mean, I'm not going to take my clothes off or anything. But
that's a party.
There goes half the viewers. Thanks.
Done. They're all gone.
They're out of here.
Critias says 4,000 hours of watch time. So yeah, I'm like way under. I think I'm just over 1,000 or just under 1,000 hours. So guys, if you like what you see, hit the like button and also subscribe and then go watch my other videos, for crying out loud, y'all.
Subscribe because Elliot's taking his clothes off. It's
happening. At 10,000 hours, I'm gonna take my. Well, actually, I'll take my clothes off every night in the shower, but not for you guys.
Is it on Twitch?
It could be.
At least no one's gonna watch it on Twitch. That's right.
Man, I was watching some dudes talk about Twitch earlier. Somebody will. I was watching these dudes talk about all the girls.
Make money off of it too.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get it. I saw the lady. Oh, I get it. They're all making money. These girls that are half naked or whatever. Like they're doing these little stretching in front of a board, saying, "I'm going to put you on my leaderboard." I was cracking up to that, watching that on YouTube. I was like, "All right, well, that's why I'll never succeed because I only have an A cup." So,
we should start.
Please don't take off the fund. Yeah, well, look at maybe I should just get some surgery. No, that's ridiculous. How dare you, Elliot? How dare you? This guy here.
My man asked, "What cartoons do I like?" That's a good question. What cartoons do I like? I like anything, man, from Hanna-Barbera to some Disney stuff. I like some Japanese animation. I'm old school though. Like I like the classics. When it comes to anime anyway, Gundam, Macross.
You're open to other stuff too.
Berserk, Fist of... Yeah, It depends. I mean, if it gets too, I don't know. I tend to jump off too many millennial things, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'll try anything. I'll try anything once. That's not true. I won't try anything once. I won't paint my boobies even. Nice.
Oh yeah. Don't do that. That's always bad. Well, they had that on Twitch also, by the way. People that are doing
booby paint.
Yeah, body painting. Yeah.
Nice. Oh.
Someone else is he has to paint his boobies to get naked on Twitch. You got it, Sketch. Ain't nobody doing that here. We're just kidding. Sorta. Lafayette.
Yes, I can help you, sir.
It's like, you're interrupting me painting my boobies right now, Ellie.
Yeah, I was actually picking out some paints.
It's like I'm going with a nice Gamboge green.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of boobies, you're drawing some interesting pecs over there. What's going on with your pecs?
You know, I like pecs. That's all.
No, what are you drawing?
I don't know. I'm just goofing. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm just goofing. I'm just, you know, doing nothing important, I guess I could say. Any of you guys watch the new Titans TV show?
I have not.
I watched the Angry Joe review of it, and he surprisingly liked it. And I was like, well, that's unusual. I was expecting him to dump all over it, but yeah, he seemed to dig it. So I don't know. I mean, not that
It's
I don't let any reviewer kind of sway me towards that. I'll watch something for myself because I have half a brain, but I have somewhat half of a brain. But
I haven't seen it, and I already hate it.
whoa.
Really?
Wow. Why do you hate it? Tell me why you hate it already.
Because I don't like it.
Oh, okay. I guess my question is, why don't you like it? There we go.
Because I'm not interested. It's literally, I'm at the stage now in my life where I'm like, you know what? Even if it was great, I don't like it. I don't care. I just don't care. I think I'm apathetic to it, is what it is. Like, I wouldn't want to spend any time on it at this point.
What is your preconceived notion of it that makes you go, I'll pass?
You know what it is? Is I'm burnt out on DC stuff. I'm tired of going like, oh, this is gonna be great. And then I go into like, oh, it's not that great. So I'm kind of on the other side of it where I'm like, I just don't. They've lost me as a customer almost. Pretty much. I'm kind of like,
I can tell you that it's definitely for an older audience because it has a lot of violence. And yeah, it's not for kids, that's for sure.
Well,
it's a little dark, like Daredevil dark. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Yeah.
You know, he's never seen it. Oh,
I know he's probably never seen Daredevil either.
As a matter of fact, I have. Hello, and I've seen both seasons before 3 at least twice, if not 3 times.
Yeah, I haven't seen 3 yet. But you know, like I said, it's just dark. Like, okay, here's a quick runabout. Basically, Robin's left Gotham for Detroit. He's a detective in Detroit. He left Gotham because Batman has given up on being the Batman that doesn't kill. Batman's like, I'm too old for this crap. I'm not going to put you in Arkham anymore. If you deserve to die, I'm going to kill you. And Robin feels like he was turning into that. Like Robin was doing so Robin's like, I got to bail. This guy's making me. So, but Robin literally comes every time he fights. He basically does everything up to the point where he'll kill you. So he'll leave you with 20 broken bones and, you know, chain you to like, a lamppost and put, hit me if you're a car on the guy's, body.
That's my Robin.
So Robin's like, he's already gone off the edge. Like Batman screwed him up. So that's Robin's, background. Raven has a cool background because, of course, she's the devil's daughter or whatever you want to play it. She's completely tripping all the time, and like anything religious gets thrown at her. Crosses spin around, and she's almost like the Exorcist. And she's trying to get help, because she's lost. Okay, so Starfire, the reason why she's black is because it's not actually her. That's just a vessel, So that's not like her actual form. It's just a vessel.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's because people complained about that. Why is she not orange? Well, because an orange person can't be walking around Detroit. And then Beast Boy, he is green, so there's that.
Right. So that just defeats your argument.
Right. That's what I thought when I watched the show. I was like, well, he's green. So anyway, and they play him as the fun, younger teenager. He's the goofy one, like he is as you expect him to be. Hawk and Dove are ruthless vigilantes. They'll just beat the living crap out of, and they basically got the Batman mentality.
Including Dove?
Yeah. Well, more Hawk, of course, but yes, Dove kind of does it if Hawk needs it. You know what I mean? Like, I got this, I'll handle it. And if he's getting his ass beat, Dove steps in like, okay, let me throw down. So that's pretty much where you're at with the show. Like I said, it's only 2 episodes in. It's definitely gritty. It's not.
You like it? Do you like it?
I dig the aspect from the point that every Titans or / Teen Titans take has been, you know, friendlier, or I should say more kid friendly. And this is, and basically, you know how it is. Robin's the leader of Teen Titans. This is how it goes, right? So so you can't play the teenage aspect. You can't play the younger Robin, because Robin at this point, you know, at best he's 30 years old. He's been through the ringer with Batman. So the story goes where he goes. So if he's in a dark, gritty, you know, I can't escape this shadow that's always, you know, following me, then that's where the show has to go, in a sense. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It can't go Beast Boys, happy-go-lucky teenager. The first episode, he breaks into like a Target and as a tiger just to steal video games. You know what I mean?
It's not called Teen Titans. It's called Titans, right?
It's just Titans. Yeah, just Titans.
Well,
yeah.
That kind of explains it. So I remember thinking that Teen Titans was always DC's version of the X-Men. Not in the power sets, but I mean, like, they were the teen group that had a bunch of like heavy stuff happening in their world. I remember when the first Trigon series happened, that mini series that was Marv Wolfman and George Perez, and they had that painted covers. Remember that stuff?
Yeah, that's the one that, matter of fact, they recently made an animated feature out of.
Yes, correct. So I remember that, and I remember thinking that was pretty heavy. That was a different take on them. So I guess there's room for that. I don't know. You know, what about you? What about you, Nolan? Did you see it? Are you enjoying it?
I haven't watched any of it.
Okay.
So I don't have an opinion.
Good, because I don't want to hear it. I'm just kidding.
Okay, everybody put in the chat box number 2 if you want to hear Nolan's opinion.
I really liked it. I think that all the characters are all unique, and they all need a chance, and they have their own voice, and every.
Let's we're gonna go to the chat box, okay? Because somebody writes, let's start from the beginning here. Somebody writes, oh man, this goes way back. We have not caught up to this. Okay, here we go. Somebody wrote the new Voltron is beast mode. Yeah, Voltron is good.
What?
Voltron. We're not talking about Voltron, but Voltron is good. That's from Uncanny Kodiak. Tomb Angry Joe loves Suicide Squad. I mean, you know, I guess whatever. Sketch Therapy says Angry Joe isn't angry anymore. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I use the medication.
Critius writes, I saw a review where they pointed out inconsistencies in the show. It looks like garbage. DC shows are secondhand hand-me-downs you find at a garbage sale that you just ignore. I mean,
yeah, you're not going to get a lot of sympathetic people over here.
I mean, here's the problem when you say that, though. It's, of course, you're comparing it to the Marvel shows, so yeah, I get it. But the Marvel shows, outside of, I like Jessica Jones season 2. Season 1 was, you know, a little slow, but season 2 was good. Daredevil's been great. Punisher was fantastic. Luke Cage, and Iron Fist is just at that same garage sale you went to see Titans. Like, it's just there, you know.
I don't know, man. I thought that the second season of it was good.
Yeah, that is true. But if I give you a Luke Cage, second season Luke Cage, you like better than season 1?
Yeah.
It was very interesting. I think they were kind of the same level, you know.
I don't know, man. I gotta say that I think that Bushmaster was a far more interesting character than the villain was from season 1 of Luke Cage.
Diamondback was trash. Somebody wrote that Starfire looks like an 80s hooker, so you must have a lot of experience with the 80s hookers.
It's been a while, but I miss it.
So let's see. Somebody writes, so because her vessel is black, she has to look like a hooker. I mean, what you have to understand is, I don't know if you saw the show. So she's basically in Russia, and she is more or less an escort / call girl for like a high, big time, like crime boss, Russian crime boss. But when she becomes Starfire, she has no idea of her background as a human. She has no clue. She's like, where the hell am I? Where am I at the moment? What's my identity in a sense?
So she is a hooker.
Well, we don't know. We don't know that. We just know that she is. My guess is yes, she's a high end call girl. Yes, that's my guess.
Oh yeah. They're definitely playing around with the idea that they introduced recently. She's super hypersexual. It happened in 52. She was real hypersexual.
Yes, that happened in Red Hood and the Outlaws Volume 1.
Yeah. But I also think you have taken into consideration that Starfire doesn't know that the actual, whatever you want to call it, the alien, whatever.
The symbiote.
Yeah. So somebody just basically writes, I don't care that Starfire is black. It's Hooker. Look, trash. I mean, okay. I don't like it. That's okay.
Sounds like that person just doesn't like hookers. I mean,
no, I know.
They just had a bad experience. I mean, come on.
You are.
I mean,
you are.
I wouldn't know.
Oh man, you're not patriotic. Our president likes hookers.
A lot.
Wow. All right. Let me give everybody some a little bit of. It's already too late, but let me give some people here. This is how I want my show to go, guys. I'm not interested. I'm not. No.
Hookers?
I don't want. I'm glad that. First of all, Nolan, your opinion is welcome here because I love that you have your idea, and Lafayette, I love your ideas. I want everybody to know that this is how it's going to be on my show. Boom! The sheriff just dropped the bomb. But no, I'm just saying, I like that we have different opinions. I don't want this to be another. I like that we can have. I want to promote honest and civil discussion over hookers, but not just any hooker. Starfire hookers.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
royal debutante hookers. Not,
not
your garden variety bus stop skank.
I mean, we're talking about alien hookers at this point.
Sketch says hookers are great, but they ain't heroes. Well, they can be. They didn't know they were a hooker.
That is true. That's what I'm saying. She doesn't know she's a prostitute.
Well, she's not the prostitute, right? She's the alien that's inhabiting.
Exactly. See, so we're getting carried away here.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm with you on that.
She's a hooker.
No, I don't even care, man. That's fine. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It's different, right? Because, like I said, you can't just have an orange alien walking around with Robin and Raven, and there's our super team. Like you gotta somehow explain it, But they don't actually explain why she's on Earth and so on and so forth. What happens is,
now I'm done. Now I retract everything I just said.
No. Here's what happens. Just real quick. What happens is there's a car accident with the hooker in it, or whatever, call girl, and two mobsters in another car get out and start shooting the car up, and she wakes up in the car accident thinking, "Where the hell am I?" Like,
wait. Can we back up a minute? Just a second. I want to make sure I got this right. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, good.
Notes here.
Yes.
So there's a car accident.
Yeah, that has to do with the Russian mob.
With the Russian. Okay, so there's a car accident that has to do with the Russian mob.
Yes.
That has what could possibly be an escort in it that becomes the host for Starfire. And I'm assuming this is a massive car accident, right? Like this is a bad car accident.
Yes, because basically the way the car accident works, they run off the road, but they're also shooting at the car. Basically, they want everybody in that other car dead.
Okay. By the way, everybody, spoilers.
No, who cares? Seems like no one cares for the show. Does it matter? I mean, we're talking about hookers for the last 20 minutes.
I'm just saying someone may.
The car accident wasn't enough. They were like, run him off the road. The car flips over. It's on fire.
Mm-hmm,
like, just shoot it.
Shoot
the car. Just shoot it. Just let's get this over with.
Yeah.
I got a
somewhere to be.
I got a Stouffer's lasagna in the freezer, and I'm really hungry. I want to get home.
Seriously. Well, here's the catch too. She does turn orange. Just so somebody knows, she does turn orange. Okay.
It does.
So because when she uses her powers, she turns orange.
Oh, okay.
Turns her ability.
She's got soul glow.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. I mean,
solid gold.
Yeah. So back to the chat room. You basically described the very thing I find in my house where I dump all things I don't need anymore. Oh yeah, the garbage. Sketch therapy. This sounds horrible. Somebody writes, Raven looks like a Free People model. I mean, she has a very clean look. That is true.
Free People? What's that mean?
Free People is I think it's a clothing line. Where they use like very emo type of models, I guess you could say.
Sure. So like they shop at Spencer's.
Sort of, kind of. They Hot Topic.
Hot Topic.
Yeah. Okay, Hot Topic. Yeah, that's cool. That's fine.
Muttman says DC Entertainment just seems like they're 5 years behind Marvel. Warner Brothers has all these great toys and can't figure out how to play right, how to use them correctly.
It's not their fault. Christopher Reeve died.
Yeah, it's a horse's fault.
I take that back.
Yeah, see, it was somebody's fault.
I take that.
DC might get a surprise hit with Aquaman, though. I mean, yeah, Aquaman looks cool.
I'm excited about Aquaman.
I'm also excited about Aquaman, except that if you didn't notice the comparison between the opening sequences and the trailers from Aquaman and the Black Panther, they're almost identical. But I don't know, man. I'm not into goofy Aquaman because he's goofy, you know, that whole brother kind of.
Oh yeah, no, you're not wrong. He's a biker Hulk Hogan guy.
But I like that though. I like that about him.
I'm waiting for him to he's gonna fight Black Manta and snap into a Slim Jim at the same time. It's just I don't know. He's just gonna be. It's
all about marketing.
Yeah. Wow. Always be marketing.
Product placement.
But you know, it does. Here's the thing about that movie though, that the director James Wan, the guy that does all he does all the Conjuring movies and so forth.
Did he do Fast and the Furious too?
Yeah, he's done a Fast and the Furious. He basically threw out Justice League and said, my movie has nothing to do with that. That part where he goes down to Atlantis and gets his suit, he goes, that doesn't even exist in his movie. Like, that has no part. Like, he basically said, Justice League doesn't exist in my universe. Like, just who cares about that, you know?
Yeah. That explains the fact that he's going to go back to the proper armor.
Yeah.
I mean, which was cool to see him in, but like, obviously Jason Momoa is not going to cut his hair short, but I mean, he still kind of looks like a hobo, you know?
He looks like a biker does. He looks like a surfing. Yeah. He looks like way that Snyder basically made him out to be, you know?
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care for Snyder's thing, but listen, as a biker, I'm going to tell you that's not fair. But
I'm also a biker.
Yeah, I'm also a biker too. I have a cruiser in my garage. I used to have a mountain bike. Yeah,
former biker.
Are we talking about motorcycles? My bad. I got like a bike, like an actual bike.
Mm.
And I've one time used one of those little scooters too. You know.
Did you have like a little ring bell that goes bling bling bling?
Actually, yeah, I did.
Did you wear a leather vest when you did that?
I did. Well, on my scooter though, on my little Razor scooter, I wore a leather vest.
Nobody's recording this, right?
That's okay. Yeah, it's
all right. You're in California.
Yeah, Long Beach. Los Angeles.
I'm gonna fly out and just protect you for the
rest
of your life. Because you're gonna need it.
Yeah, here we go. Sketch Therapy says the Starfire got VD from Russian gangbangs. Robin is in it for a gift that keeps on giving. Whoa! Wow. And then hookers are great, but they are anti-heroes. Yeah. I mean, that depends. Some lonely guys, they are heroes.
We're not going to read every chat. Okay.
Okay, no, we're going to kind of skip around. Somebody wrote that, talk about Iceman. He's a truck stop hooker now.
Oh, Lord. Right after I say we're not going to read every chat.
That one threw me off. I thought he was going a different route. Like, let's talk about Iceman, not Aquaman. Wow. Let's go more to the bottom here. I think Aquaman and Shazam look a lot more fun than anything on TV DC has.
Who said that?
Sketch Therapy, but it's always hard to say. Like, I could always say, oh, Wonder Woman looks better than the Flash on TV. I mean, that's kind of hard to, apples to oranges,
Yeah, I kind of like the Flash too. I to be honest though, I stopped watching a lot of those shows. I couldn't take it anymore. I every time, so part of it was because I started to watch these shows as like binge watching them. I sound like I said something else. Anyway, I started watching these shows binging, and I binge watched them. So anyway, so I'm watching these shows, and it occurs to me that if you watch it as in a binge, you all that they say, that's the only thing they say is that there's love and this is my city. This is all for love and my city. That's all the Flash ever talks about. I'm like, dude, you just met these people. How can you love them so much? Well, it's been several seasons now, but I'm saying back then, this is for love and for my family and for love. And that's all he ever did anything for. I don't know. I could almost tell you the punchline every time it comes on now because of that. Then Supergirl made me upset. He was just kind of all over the place. I was like, Supergirl, just be super. Stop telling me how to think. I don't like you. Go back to your planet. I'm done with you. So there I am. That's where I'm at. There I am.
My problem with the DC shows is that all right, so we're gonna get into some spoiler territory for those of you who have not seen any of those shows ever.
Give me a 1 if you.
Yeah. Put a 1 if you've never seen a DC TV show.
Yeah, let's throw those up there. So this is where I gave up. So an Arrow, so Green Arrow is or was, I don't know if he still is, married to, in the comics, Dinah Lance, right? Dinah, yeah, that's her name. Yeah, Black Canary, right? That's a thing.
Right? Yeah, sure,
yes.
yeah.
Okay. Yes, it is. I can confirm. No, I can't.
Okay, so why is she dead? She's dead in the show? What? And then, what? And then, why does everybody in the DC TV universe know who everyone is? Like they all know. So like I'm the Flash, and also I'm this guy. Thanks. I'm the guy that just tried to murder all these people, and you just told me who you are. It just everyone there is no secret identity in the show. Oliver Queen is a thing. No shit. No shit, you know why? Because he told everybody. All they have to do is just capture all of the people that he knows. That's the end of the show.
No, it's true. Yeah. I mean, that is the goofy thing of those shows, though. It's very true.
For me, the only shows that I watch, I mean, I don't really consider the Netflix shows to be TV shows because they're not technically on TV, right? Because they're on a streaming platform.
I said, "Good day, sir." I submit. No, go ahead.
I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. still. I've watched. I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Really?
It got weird. It got weird for a little while, and then when they started tying, it got really good, and it's been going pretty good. It's been tying into everything now, and then the Inhumans came out, and we're gonna segue out of this topic.
Now that show was super trash.
Yeah.
I remember.
I
was gonna say, I remember their take on that show was they wanted to create a Marvel version of Game of Thrones. It was so bad. I mean, Inhumans is so hard to do something with. Just leave it alone. No one, and I don't even think people give a crap about the Inhumans to do something with it. Just leave it alone.
It's because they couldn't do anything with the X-Men. That's really what it came down to, is that they wanted the X-Men. They can't have the X-Men, so we're going to do the Inhumans. They don't work without the things that tie into the Inhumans, like the Fantastic Four and all that other stuff. You don't have that, you don't have a show. Like I don't know how I managed to make it through as much of it as I did, because it doesn't work. It didn't work, and it shouldn't have been a show, and they gave up on it.
So for me, I actually thought it was a cool idea. No, because I'm actually a big Kirby guy. So I was intrigued by it. I never, to be honest, I never saw it. But I didn't need to, because after I saw some of the images, I just was not interested. I just didn't care, and because I didn't like the Medusa woman. And then they had to cut her. I heard they cut her hair. I'm like, of course they cut her hair because that's a whole other level of price in CG that they can't afford to do on a television budget. And so, and they're already doing a lot of that with. I mean, think about how often, how many times they show that one shot of the airplane on Agents of Shield. You know, that from that same angle every time because they can't afford to do that over and over again. So budget wise, I knew that it wasn't going to be as good. I heard about Lockjaw, I thought that was interesting, but at the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, to your point, Nolan, I don't know that needed to be a movie before it became a television thing, and it would have been more interesting.
It was supposed to be a movie, and then something happened, and they went a different route, and they gave us a TV show, and unfortunately, they gave us a TV show, and
it's too bad because the way Marvel does their shows is they are part of the MCU in some way, shape, or form. So once you give us that version of Inhumans, it's like saying, "Oh, okay, so those are Inhumans that are in the same universe, then, right?" It's they're trying to make us think, no, that was a mistake. We messed up on that one. I mean, but Christopher Ryan, no, it's okay. Christopher Ryan writes, Kevin Feige didn't want Inhumans at all, but one of the higher ups was a fan of them, so he had to do it. And they didn't have the rights to mutants at the time.
Right. See, what I heard was that Feige, there was some myth going on between the movie side and the TV production side. And it's also partly why Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. split in the way that it did from the movies, because at one point it wasn't tying in to some of the stuff that came out. So like around the time when Ant-Man came out, it wasn't tying into anything like that. It wasn't tying into it didn't tie in anything with Spider-Man or anything like that. So there was like a rift or something that had gone on, and they did it. They separated the two worlds, and they were like, well, they're not gonna tie in anymore, and they they got Inhumans out, and once Inhumans was done, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started tying in again, and it started tying in with Doctor Strange, if I'm not mistaken, if I have the timeline right. Yeah, because the Ghost
Rider. How they do that?
With Ghost Rider.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, and the Darkhold and all that stuff. They brought Ghost Rider in.
Yeah, Ghost Rider was done really well on that show.
Yeah, both having. I was kind of curious and skeptical as to how it was going to go down because I don't like Ravi Reyes as a character. I felt that if they were going to do Ghost Rider, give us the Ghost Rider or give Ghost Rider fans the Ghost Rider that the real Ghost Rider fans want to see, which would have been Johnny Blaze, and they did, which was cool. And then I was satisfied with. Yeah.
On the show?
Yes. Yeah, it's a cameo. It's a quick cameo, and I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. And then it moved on. And it was good. It was good for what it was. And then how in Doctor Strange he does the slip. You put the slip ring on, and he does a little circle, and you open up a little portal thing.
Yeah.
And you go through it. Ghost Rider can do that with his chain. He lights his whole chain on fire, and he whips it around in a circle, and it makes a portal. He walks through it. It's crazy. So that was the tie-in, and the whole technology around like the technology that Doctor Strange uses as magic, where the light and all that stuff. Ghost Rider was doing some of that with the Darkhold, and it was awesome. And so it started tying back in with that stuff, and with the current season that just ended with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Was bringing in more Kree. So it's bringing in Captain Marvel. They mentioned Thanos. So they mentioned Thanos, and so yeah, it's still tying in and still doing all those little fan services. And the other cool thing is that they're bringing in on that show, they're bringing in characters that maybe you haven't thought about. Like in season one, one of the characters that was he was a young kid at the time in the show was what's his name? He was an Iron Man villain. He's like an ice guy. I can't think of his name right now.
Oh,
Blizzard.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, Blizzard. So he's there, the Absorbing Man, Deathlock. You know, they've got all those characters, you know, popping up, and it's cool. It's cool to see those guys because you don't. I mean, I hadn't thought about Deathlock in a long while, and Deathlock was when I met, you know, Rich Buckler for the first time, and that was geez, back in like 2013, and I was like, oh, I know the guy that made that guy.
I wasn't really a big fan of I liked the Deathlock. I didn't like how they did it, but again, it goes back to the budget stuff. But it was cool that they did it. I mean, when were they ever going to do Deathlock? You know,
never.
So
why would they? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's just one of those things where it's like you take what you can get, but then like it's kind of one of those things where how do they make it make sense? You know, in a modern time, like he's not going to walk around looking the way he looks in the comic books. That wouldn't make sense. It'd stick out. You know what I mean? Especially if he's going to be a, you know, a tactical kind of, you know, covert soldier zombie robot cyborg thing. You know? So
I just caught Sketch Therapy's comment about the best season is when they came to Puerto Rico. No, that one was pretty bad, but I hear they were cool people. I thought that was an interesting one, actually. I kept wondering why are they filming in Puerto Rico? What's going on over there?
Was that the Inhumans tie-in?
That was when they first, I think that's when they first busted out with the Terrigen Mist, but it wasn't the Terrigen Mist. It was that weird brick they were running around with.
The obelisk.
Yeah.
Oh, and Hive, that was another one. That was another villain that was bombing around that they brought into the show. So yeah, I think that they're Hive is like one of those weird like collected villains who he's like a worm thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and with what's his name? Graviton? Is that his name?
Yeah.
He was just in the last season.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
Graviton's a big deal from the Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I guess I should go back and watch it. I just want to skip. I did get burnt out though on the Inhuman thing. Like when they went to that island and her mom was teaching her kung fu or something, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And it was so obvious they were trying to not use mutants. It just felt weird. Like, it's all right, I guess. Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm pretty forgiving when it comes to some of this stuff. I'll watch most things. And I'll enjoy. I'll even enjoy it for the most part. I like cheesy things. Like one of my favorite indulgences is guilty pleasures is was it really guilty? Did I commit a crime by doing this? But anyway, it's Smallville. I loved Smallville. I still love Smallville, and I'll still watch Smallville because I love the way that they gave me this kind of like this kind of what do you call it? This made me feel good. You know, it was a very that Superman interpretation was very noble, and I just liked that a lot. So I'll forgive most things, and I was on board with these other shows for a long time as well. It was around the time when they started to introduce, you know, some of the stuff that was going on. It just everything has been so repetitive. I remember it's like another one I like to watch is Supernatural. And has the same formula as all the other shows does. But man, do they have the same formula of their own show. Like all that ever happens is this frustration between the brothers and they don't get along. One dies and goes to hell, and it's always so tragic.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah,
it's so hard to get out of there.
That is true. That's the reason why I stopped watching that show. It felt like the same thing over and over.
I mean,
yeah.
And with Smallville got really bad. I mean, just horrendously bad. And
but it was one of those. it was one of those so bad. I loved it. I was like, oh, it's so
But
good.
they had to cut the budget so much for that. Here's the thing: when I worked in a golf store in Santa Monica, this is like 2000, between 2005 and 2009. Tom Welling used to come in all the time, so we would talk about Smallville, and he would say, "What'd you think of this week's episode?" Like he would ask me my opinion because you know he knew me as the comic book guy that worked in the golf store, and I would tell him just straight up, "Oh, this episode sucked. You guys must have cut the budget." He tells me straight up, "Yeah, dude, we have to cut the budget by $1 million." Like he would actually direct so many episodes himself because they didn't have a budget to hire a director. So he would direct a bunch of episodes, and they would give him producing credit, yada yada yada. So, do you remember the episode where they had Doomsday? And and Doomsday looked like a ridiculous rubber costume, whatever.
Yeah, that's too bad.
So it was hilarious because he comes in the week before it's about to air and goes, "Oh man, we got Doomsday," and he tells me straight up, "It looks horrible." Like he's honest. He's like, "It looks so bad. We had no budget." He goes, "Let me know when you see it." He comes in the following week. This guy came in like weekly, and I swear when he came in to talk about Smallville. He maybe bought like one box of golf balls ever, and he goes, "What you think about the Doomsday one? Horrible, right?" And we're just laughing. Well, I'm like, "Dude, it was so trash." I'm like, "What the hell?" He goes, "I know." He directed that one too, and he was like, "I know, dude. Believe me, it was the worst piece of crap." And he hated the fact that he could never be Superman. He hated that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
he hated. Yeah, he hated that. He felt like the show, like especially the last season, he would tell me like, "Dude, this show is like so bad at the moment. Like, just there's no more money for it. Nobody's watching anymore." You know, he knew it too. He knew it was just crap. You know, like he didn't hold back. He's like, "This show just turned into crap," and he was right.
Wow.
I mean, that show turned into crap.
Well, I loved it. Shut your mouth.
The first, I would say the first 3 seasons were fantastic when he was in high school. You know what it was? It was really good until he actually worked. Like when he got out of high school, it sucked.
I loved that. I loved it
it.
all. I don't care. I loved
I hated all of it. You did.
I did.
Stop lying to yourself.
And you're a liar. You're a
You
liar.
need to stop lying to yourself.
You, sir, are a liar.
Thank you.
Liar, your pants are on.
There
fire.
we go. Al Pacino tells you you're a liar. You're a liar. I'll tell you what, though, that Tom Welling is like 6'5". The guy's huge.
Yeah.
It was the first time I saw him. I went behind him. I was like, "You are huge. You are a tall son of a bitch." And he turned around and started laughing because I was like, "Dude, I don't think you're like." I told him straight up, "I don't think you're this like a tall person. Like this dude is huge." Because I didn't know he used to be a freaking model. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's that? I was
he's
a
not
model.
You were not a model.
What do you mean? I absolutely was a model.
No, hand model. What kind of model were you?
I was a model airplane once.
See, I believe that more than Elliot was a model. Oh, you know what?
First of all, I'm insulted that you just jumped to the conclusion that I was clearly not a model.
Were you a model citizen?
You know what? This guy right here is going to eat your face. I'm just saying.
That's not good because I'm a model.
You're not a model.
You're going to be a model out of a job.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Oh man, hold on. We got some more comments here. Somebody said the best season. Oh, we already went to that one. Somebody writes, I didn't mind the cheese in CWDC. It was the wokeness that turned me off. And they were so Trump would lose. They made Linda Carter president. When he won, they made a Nazi crossover. And I remember that episode. It wasn't necessarily a Nazi crossover. That was the one where Supergirl, I think this is what we're talking about. Oh, yeah, Supergirl wore the black suit. She looked pretty cool in that suit. And there was another dimension. I mean, hey, listen, they're bringing that back this season, and Superman's in the black suit.
Yeah. You know? But see, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. If Linda Carter was president, I'd be all over that. If she was Wonder Woman, I'd be good with that. Wonder Woman. Yeah, because I love Wonder Woman. But yeah, I think that is a big part of it. You know, one of the things that I have a trouble with, and this is I don't mean to get too weird here, but so I have no problem with a character being gay at all or anything like that. But what drove me crazy was all of a sudden, Supergirl's sister, after she comes out being gay, she becomes the biggest idiot. She was supposed to be the female Nick Fury, like badass. And then all of a sudden, she's like, "Oh, do you think she likes me? Do you think she cares? Should I get her chocolates?" Like, shut up.
Oh yeah, they wrote her super girly all of a sudden. She went from being badass to, oh my god, I got a crush, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm just interested in integrity in that. Like, give me a character that makes sense. You could present to me almost anything, as long I don't want a pedophile and everything. I'm just saying. But man,
how about a hooker from space?
Apparently, you're fine with that
because she's back in the conversation.
Sketch therapy says, "Are you dyslexic? You're skipping words."
I mean, we're trying to. I don't want to read everybody's comment exactly. I just want to get to the gist of it.
I'm not trying to make this like crazy times. I'm just saying that, and that particular thing was like really annoying to me. I said, she's not even half of the character she was in the first couple of seasons. So,
well, when people use the whole these characters are woke. I mean, here's the thing too. Jeff Johns has come out and said, "Oh yeah, next season in Titans, he's already talking about season 2. We're gonna have an LGBT character." Like, why?
Yes.
I mean, here's the thing.
One of those.
You don't have to.
Lamp, right?
Yeah, it is. You don't have to tell people that. Just bring it onto the show, and they can figure it out for themselves. You don't have to throw it out there. You know what I mean? It's cool. You can do what you want, but you don't have to like please an audience by announcing it. If it's on the show, people will get it. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
Well, I'm the same as you. I mean, Bruce Jenner's a chick.
We're the same.
So
how about my Wheaties? Wheaties anymore.
I don't know. It's just, you know what I mean though. It's like you don't have to like. Some guy was on Twitter today, and he was making a big stink about just this is a whole different. I mean, it's the same thing, but it's how transgender people are still just people. And I'm like, yeah, you were 100% correct. So you don't have to announce that you're gay, you're trans. You don't have to. It's cool. You are who you are. You're just another person. If you want to parade it around and you want individual rights, which doesn't make any sense, you're just a person like me.
Yeah, you have rights.
Yeah, you already have the same rights as everyone else. I don't get what you want. Like, you could be whatever you want. Just wouldn't know what makes it worse when you run around announcing it, and then you feel like you need kids' gloves. Everyone around you needs kids' gloves. Like, I don't need kids' gloves around you. Like,
I am heterosexual.
Oh, now I'm logging off. Now I'm logging off.
Did you just assume my gender? No, I can't because you're wearing guys' pants. You look like a chick, but you cut your hair like a dude. You talk like a. I'm confused.
And then on top of that, when you question it, it's your fault for questioning it. But yet you're running around like, look, I'm transgender, god damn it. Like, what? Like, wait, why are you announcing it? That's cool, man. Do what you want to do. But like
these are the parts that you were biologically born with. I speak totally for myself when I say that, but that's kind of how science works. Oh, good. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's funny.
Nobody heard what I just.
You literally went to silence as you're saying it.
Sweet.
You were.
That was some straight up offensive shit. What I just dropped.
Well, no, it's good. Somebody censored your ass as you were saying it.
Damn.
I self-censored myself.
Nolan starts tapping the mute button over and over again.
Yeah, he's like, these mother. You know that I don't like, and that's what I got to say.
Y'all need Jesus.
I don't know, but you know what I'm. It's like you don't. Yeah. It's like in comics. You want to make Iceman gay? Cool.
No.
But you know what I mean, though. But you don't have to put it in your ads and put it like online and make an announcement. You know what?
Read the all-new X-Men Go.
Yeah, right.
Gay Iceman.
Yeah, and it's like, gay people, as people wanted to clarify themselves or classify themselves. They're out there. Okay, cool. That's it. Okay, we get it. We know.
Listen, if you really want to be controversial, the next ad should be Colossus is still straight. What?
And he's always hard.
If he has a beard, his beard goes metal too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's up with that? How does his hair get like perfect too? Like if everything else is, or if all the organic material in his body goes like super hard, which I get, right? And then he gets like this, like, oh no, I just stepped into that right now. Yeah, what I'm saying is, everything else, all his muscles are bulging round, but then his hair turns like blockhead.
Oh,
What's going
perfect. And the perfect flat top. I mean,
yeah, and the
perfect.
beard too. The beard,
Oh, yeah.
like there's no, like I would like it to see it if like it all went super sharp, and then he pokes people with his goatee.
No,
with his sharp metal beard.
Yeah, it's like a Brillo pad on steroids. That'd be awesome.
You're going way too far right now.
Kitty Pryde goes to like kiss him, shreds her face like right off.
Yeah. Just before she goes through the whole
phases out.
Yeah.
X-Men Gold is now X-Men Black.
Darker, and darker still. In this issue,
in a world,
Colossus shreds his wife. Yeah. I don't know. So what do you guys think about? What about this other stuff? How do you guys feel about this? You guys, I'm not really changing the subject, but this is on the same kind of controversial thing. How do you feel about those guys who have been like, who've been found out to be problematic in their personal lives, and then they go on to make films like Johnny Depp and all that stuff in these movies? Do you care about that stuff?
No,
like Robert Downey Jr. being a former drug addict and stuff. I mean,
no, because that guy, he goes great. Like he's fine now, right? But then, but I'm saying, like, you look at Johnny Depp has had all this problem with his ex or whatever, and this. So all of a sudden, like I miss the days where I had no idea. I didn't learn about Marlon Brando till I was in my 30s. You know what I'm saying? Those were fun days when I didn't have to think about that kind of stuff. Those guys had problems in their lives, and I didn't care. I didn't care about how many women Elvis slept with. I had no idea. I just liked this music. You didn't.
It doesn't. Does
that matter?
Doesn't really bother me. Primarily, it's a job, right? So it's a job for them. You know, I just see them as they're going to do this job. They're going to be either really good or really bad at it, and I'm gonna pay a theater way too much money for stale popcorn, and I'm gonna.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like,
I think the energy we waste. I think the energy that we waste caring about a celebrity's personal life was brought on more and more so with the onset. With your social medias like your Twitter and Facebook and MySpace at the time and whatever, you know what I mean? So, at the time early on, like, Marlon Brando and all that stuff, you didn't have that. Like that stuff didn't exist then. So how could you care unless it was in a tabloid? We only had tabloid papers way back then, Sonny Jim, to have those controversial things in there. So I think Johnny Depp's a great actor. Has he had substance abuse issues? Sure. But so hasn't also Amber Heard have issues in the past, hasn't she? Like way back when. So like, you know what I mean? Like who cares? Who do you trust? You know what I mean? Did she take a ton of his money? Because the guy's filthy rich? Probably. She probably did. I think he owns an island. Did he beat her up? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know him personally. I don't really care.
Yeah. Now, I think that on the flip side of that, I'm glad that guys like Weinstein, whatever, got called. There's been I guess you could argue that some positive has come from it, but I just feel like I don't know that first of all, man, guys, Hollywood guys, stop doing weird stuff for those jobs, for crying out freaking loud, man. Like, why are we going so hard into the paint for a job in Hollywood? You gotta have more dignity for yourself. I don't know. That's just me. And that guy was ugly. Like, God. Anyway,
it's the power he wielded. That's all it was. That's all.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know. Maybe would you? I forget.
I would go ahead. You ask. I'll do it.
Would you have considered once? That's not nice. I'm not being nice.
That's hilarious.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't. I'm like, no, stop touching me. Go.
That's why you're still making YouTube videos.
That's why. That's true, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know.
You know, I would just be more like, listen, you got a 10-minute window as long as you can put me in a movie.
No. and I'm going to say this. I know that there's probably, maybe someone will hear this and go, well, how insensitive. I guess. I don't mean to be insensitive. I guess there are some people that have really experienced abuse. There have been people that have been abused. Like, what about this guy? He's such a great actor, Spacey. Are you sad about that guy? I'm not sad for him personally, but I'm disappointed that I like that guy as an actor. He was a good actor. And now he's almost like he can't do anything. He's going to start making Lifetime movies, and he can't even do that. It's going to be weird.
He's going to be the villain in a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, in every Lifetime movie. Gosh, like that guy's he can never recover from that.
Here's the thing, like, did he do it though? Because I don't know. If I recall correctly, if memory serves correctly, Kevin Spacey just said, this happened a long time ago and I don't remember it. And if I did, I'm almost positive he apologized. But then there were people that said, well, I was on the set and I remember. There's always going to be that one person that's going to pop up and be like, yeah, I remember that. I remember that. And there's always going to be that other guy that's like, well, I had friends on the set who also knew some stuff that was going on but didn't say anything. Well, if you knew something was going down and you didn't say anything then, but you're saying something now because it's something they already went down for it, well, then you're just as guilty as that person is, because you let that damage happen to that particular individual. You're just as guilty.
Couldn't you be accused of or brought up on being complicit? Gosh, it seems like there's so much. I don't know. Maybe coming from where I come from as a middle-aged Puerto Rican man, there's a lot of stuff that I could never get away with. Never get away with. I was always being suspected of something in badder times in my life. But I just feel like this situation, like that would have been something terrible. I don't know, man. I just don't. I feel bad about what's going on, but at the same time, I'm like, why are you guys doing that? And all these guys could have. I don't know. The same thing with this guy, Singer, from the X-Men stuff. You know, how weird was that?
What did he do?
What did he do? Supposedly, he's been. I think he's up on a. I don't know if it's still happening or not, but there was supposedly someone doing a whole. They were gonna. He was come up on charges or something, or being sued because of some. Would you call it pedophilia? Is that what it was?
Yeah, pretty much.
A young boy.
Basically, he was supposedly having pool parties, and they would hire young men to be like the waiters and the bus boys and whatever, the help, and they were all young, strapping men, like, and they were saying how it was kind of like a gay party in a sense, you know, like almost in a way to get these young men into the party. Oh, look, you're at a Hollywood glitz and glamour party. Don't you feel special? Now do me this, you know?
Right.
And so he's being like basically called out for being that guy that orchestrates the parties and so forth. And I mean, here's the thing: if Singer never makes another movie, I'm okay. But like the Johnny Depp thing, who cares? You know, like the people are trying to not boycott, but people were like petitioning. He shouldn't be in the new those Harry Potter movies he's in, the new one coming out, the Fantastic Beasts, and like because his wife divorced him for being basically an alcoholic drunk that spends all their money on anything. So what does that got to do with me?
Even though it's his money.
Yeah, exactly.
And he is not.
You still sound like C-3PO.
Oh dear. Colin Farrell was one of those bad boys too, and a mega drunk and constantly getting in trouble, and everybody seems that he's he's in this Harry Potter world either.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
How quickly the world forgets that he was in that Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck.
Oh, I never forgot.
Oh, I want a fucking costume.
Well, somebody wrote, Sketch Therapy writes, I only care if they are minors, and if the adults reporting crap 20 years later, then F them, which is true. This guy reported Kevin Spacey like 25 years later. Oh, yeah, we're at this party, and I was only 14, and he took me to the bedroom, and he got on top of me. And I'm like, man, what took you so long? You should have told everyone you were hanging out with, bro.
Yeah, I didn't have the backbone at the time.
Yeah.
Stand up for myself.
Oh man,
I'm just gonna ruin his career now. And I'll be honest, I'm in this area. So this is probably the reason why women hate me. I'm a Bill Cosby fan. I grew up watching the Cosby Show. I watched Cosby's comedy specials, and I'm like, why would you come forward now while the dude's, what is he, 80 something years old, and be like, this guy touched me inappropriately. He put stuff in my drinks and touched me inappropriately, in the 70s. It's 2018. Why didn't you say anything then? Oh, they wouldn't believe me. Well, a lot of people don't believe you now, but then, the majority of the sensitive people believe you. That's why he's, in jail for 3 to 10 years. They can't decide on a sentence. Listen, you're going to go to jail. You're going to go to prison. You're going to go to prison for 3 to 10 years, give or take. We'll figure it out. You just go in that room over there and just sit down. Don't hurt yourself. We'll figure it out. Tell a joke or something.
You know what my problem is?
Under the yellow pudding that you're getting with the dinner tonight. So.
But my overall problem with the story, because I'm also a fan of him, and I'm super disappointed one way or the other. But I gotta say though, it's so hard today with misinformation that's out there to really decide anything. It's certainly not that I don't think that we need we need justice for those people if they've really been affected by that. But it's that I don't know if they really have, and it's not their fault either. It's because everyone, look how many times people are using crazy things now. Like, I don't know where you guys are. I don't want to know where you guys are politically on this stuff. But this whole thing with Kavanaugh, when they were talking about this woman just comes out of nowhere and says, I think it happened, and it sort of happened, and I don't remember anything. I have no evidence. She had less evidence than anything that's going on anywhere else, and they were about to destroy. Well, they practically destroyed that guy's universe. And I'm like, I can't believe that we're living in a time where I can say, I could just, I can't, but someone can say, well, I 10 years ago, this person did this, and all of a sudden I'm like, I don't even know who you are. Yeah, sure, we believe her only because she's a woman. Like, that's scary, man. That's a scary time to be a man, a human. How can we even appeal to justice if we can't even? I mean, the whole point of our justice system about being innocent until proven guilty, and yet everyone's bringing up this stuff. So yeah, it's a shame, because I think these are very serious things, and I think it's important that people are. I think it is important that people who have been abused in the past. I mean, it may be the more difficult. I know. I can appreciate it, but on the other side of this conversation, I'm also thinking, but how have certain people taken advantage of this system and then using it against people who don't deserve that? So, like I said, I miss the days when I didn't learn about some of these actors until later, not because I think that should have continued to go on, but because I don't know what to believe today. I have no idea what to believe.
There's so many sources.
And then everyone's just saying, and if you don't agree, this is the worst part. If I don't agree, even though I have some intellectual problems with the argument, then you're evil for it. And that's not cool, man. Uncanny Kodak says Cosby needed to go. Him and Weenie Steenie, I guess Weinstein. I guess I don't know. I hope that was legit. You know, because
there
also
was no proof. There was
how
no
many
proof.
times? How many times do you hear
prove that you got roofied 30 years ago?
No.
You can't take a drug test and go, yep, you were definitely roofied 30 years ago. That science doesn't exist. You're taking the word of multiple people who can just be jumping on a train going, yep, this guy roofied me. Yep, that guy roofied me. Yep, that guy roofied me. Yep, that guy roofied me, because they can't prove it. They're just using what's called repeating factors. It's an old police technique that you learn in criminal justice school that goes, okay, so if like 6 people come forward and say that they saw this guy kick this guy's dog, and 2 people come forward and say that he didn't, then these 6 people are the people that we're going to go with, even though we know that this guy may or may not have kicked this guy's dog, but we have these 6 people, so we're going to go with that. You can't prove it. There's
I would say 7 people, because I saw him kick the dog too. Okay, what's worse though? What Cosby did to the women, which there's plenty of them, so I take, there's tons of those women, so is what it is, or the fact that the show wasn't called the Huxtables. Why the hell was it called the Cosby Show? Anybody?
Theo!
You just wrecked my whole universe,
right?
Theo,
you didn't do what I told you to do. Like, I just that show.
And you constantly get yourself up in trouble because you're stupid.
Mm-hmm. Raven, why you so Raven? Like,
what you better go and do is you better go and take your stuff all together and forget your stuff together and go up into your room before I get angry and slip a little something and you shit because you're stupid.
Mm-hmm. That's
exactly how that goes.
Still, why was it called the Cosby Show?
we don't that will never be known now.
Oh,
it's like the Tootsie Roll Pop commercial. We should never be.
That is true. But clearly we know how many it takes. It always took 3 in the commercial.
Do you guys remember the commercial when it wasn't the way it was? That the modern. Remember when it was?
You never trust an owl.
A 2, a 3, crunch, a 3.
Yeah.
And they took that part out. I'm disappointed.
You can't trust an owl, man. You can't.
Yeah, that's true.
Haven't you seen The Fourth Kind? You can't trust an owl.
They're sneaky bastards. As Sketch Therapy writes, they are going after Louis C.K. for spanking his own monkey, and I bet R. Kelly must be hoping.
that Louis C.K. will pee on him.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Louis C.K. is actually out though again. He's doing stand-up again. He's, the Louis C.K. thing was odd because Sketch is right. I mean, he got in trouble for basically going, hey, come in my room. Don't touch me, but watch me. And what's the difference between going to a stand-up act and watching that? Most have been both hilarious. So, and then somebody wrote, Kavanaugh had facts too. He had a calendar, which is true. Yeah, calendar. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just this all started because somebody said CW shows are woke.
Yeah, well.
Thanks for that, whoever said that.
I'm exhausted, man.
I know. I'm a transgender.
See what you just did there. See what you just did.
Yep.
Whoa. What's that?
That was the sound of a pencil sharpener. Millennials don't know anything about that.
I sharpen them out with my teeth.
Did any of you guys ever use a razor blade to sharpen your pencils? Ever?
I haven't. Back in high school, I did.
I do the charcoals with a razor blade because it makes a mess.
That's true.
Of my pencil sharp. If you destroy a pencil like that, and so this Carnage is really getting away from me right now. I'm trying Carnage, by the way, in case you haven't figured that one out. But it is really
I'm enjoying it
right now.
I'm drawing a Rob Liefeld version of Elliot's main character.
Nice, no feet, pouches.
Look at him. He has pouches. He has a big thing on his shoulder strap. He has the eye patch. He's way overroided.
Nice. I gotta admit, I I don't own any Liefeld work, but I've spent time in conversation with Liefeld in person on many occasions, and I like him. I like him a lot. He is a hilarious dude, and he was always very nice to me whenever I had an opportunity to speak to him. So as fun as it is to goof on the dude, he's a pretty cool guy if you ever get to know him, or spend enough time to talk to him to get to know him. So yeah, there you go. Boom. I know some famous peeps.
Yeah, I think you could say that about, a lot of people that, like Liefeld's a perfect example. Every comic shop you go to and you bring his name up, everyone chimes in.
Yeah.
But if he was to walk in, you'd be like, oh, hey, buddy. Hey. Well, you clearly have feet. Have you ever looked at them before and just drew them? Yeah. He's like, no, all my characters stand behind buildings or rocks. Oh.
Right.
Oh, I don't know. Where'd the rocks come from? Yeah. Good old Robert.
Have you ever had a bad in industry experience from one of the creatives? Like in person, like you met somebody and you're like, "Hey, guy, how's it going?" And they're like, "Ugh." Not like that. They don't make that sound. That's
I know what
weird.
you mean, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had Mignola turned me off really bad. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Seriously?
Yeah, I still love him to pieces. I don't care. This goes back to my thing. I don't care. He's having a bad day. That's what I say. But now I went to see him at Emerald City, and I'm like, hey, I'm a big fan, and he was like, yeah. I said, I really like this print. Yeah, okay, $50. I'm like, whoa, buddy. I was hoping to shake a hand or something. He's like, yeah, okay, all right, move on. I'm like, wow. And I'll never forget that, but it doesn't matter. I don't care. This goes back to some of the things we talked about earlier. I just don't care. If who cares? His artwork is okay. It's great. It doesn't change my opinion of his work at all. But yeah, that was one. And then Liefeld, one time I met him.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Print was $50.
Yeah. I bought it too. I'm an idiot.
It was a print.
You are an idiot. Good Lord.
But it was beautiful. I had never seen it. I have a lot of his work. I have all these art books, and this art was never in.
Is it in your studio right now?
Yeah.
Can you show it? I want to see what a $50 print looks like. I've never seen a print.
No, I'm not even gonna. No.
Okay, fine.
No.
Okay.
No.
Come on, we need a good laugh.
Wow.
No,
you really laugh at me.
Not you. I mean, yes. No, and yes.
No, I'm just curious. I have never seen a print. Well, actually, that's not true. I do know Neil Adams. So.
Well, yeah, and have you ever been to an Alex Ross booth?
Oh no, I have never been so lucky to be in the same room as that man.
I've met him like 3 times, and he's cool and all, but if you ever see his booth set up, which San Diego Comic-Con hooks that dude up, like the biggest freaking floor space in the world. He has like 4 brokers there, all in suits, selling his original art. He's there too. You could, he'll talk to you, but his art is only original art he sells. He sells prints, but it's all about the originals. I'm talking like you better save up. You want a page from Kingdom Come, you better give that dude like $5,000. It is crazy, or more.
That sounds cheap.
That's what I'm saying, or more, exactly. So, but yeah, I've never really had like, I can't say like a really bad experience. I mean, I've not really. No, some cool guys I've met and spoke with for a long time. Eric Larson, I think him and I spoke for like an hour and a half one time at WonderCon. And just bullshit. Nothing like, I mean, by the time I was done, he's like, hey, you gonna go somewhere to grab something to eat? I was like, I'm gonna go grab a drink out like a 7-Eleven. Hey, can you give me a Coke? and I came back and he's like, oh, you really got me the Coke? I was like, dude, yeah, I was going to 7-Eleven. Oh, cool, bro. He draws so weird too. Have you ever seen him draw? He like
Larson?
Larson, yeah.
What's his thing?
He curls his wrist like as much as he possibly can when he draws.
Like this?
Oh, yeah, it's the weirdest thing. It's like, but he was cool. Spoke to Jim Lee one time for like 20 minutes. He was cool. Let's see. McFarlane for like 10 minutes, but that was just more about he was signing autographs and he just stopped and talked for like 10 minutes. I think he just likes to hear him. He just likes to hear himself talk.
I love Todd because especially when he's doing, like his Facebook Live stuff, because it's hilarious. Because you can tell he's winging it. Like, he didn't think about like what he's going to say before he says. He just goes. And so if you ever have the opportunity to find the video of when he draws, maybe I think this was like last year, maybe it was earlier in the year. He draws Venom, and he when the video comes on, and he's sitting, he's looking at the camera, and he's got like a hoodie on. He's got a Washington State, I think it's Oilers hat on, and then he puts his sunglasses on, and so he's like, "Hey, we're gonna be drawing Venom. He's the opposite of me. He's black with white eyes. I'm white with black eyes. Okay, so we're gonna get started, and we gotta choose the right brush, Todd."
That is exactly how he talks too. That's exactly, and he does tons of special effects when he draws. Like, I'm gonna do these lines right here.
I'm gonna cut in with some white here, and I forgot. So I don't do the long tongue because then I think he looks like a dog, like that's like thirsty for water. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little short teeth, but then just think, he's like a monster, so like his teeth can be all like. And then you can just come in. I'm gonna cut in with some sexy white.
That's exactly how he sounds too.
Like right here, and it's a bad Toddy.
Yeah, he is hilarious. He is hilarious. Oh man,
I love Todd McFarlane. He's the best, man. He's so. I'm not making fun of him because I admire him so much, but that's how he talks. And every time I get to watch a video, I'm like, how much of this can I record so I have that voice whenever I need it, and I can just pull it out and make fun of one of the customers that calls my work with it. Just use that voice to make fun of one of my customers.
Oh no, he sounds just like that too.
He's the opposite of me. I'm white with black eyes. He's black with white eyes. Okay, you guys be good, and we'll see you on the next one.
He always says that too. You guys be good. Always. You guys be good. Always. You guys be good. You know who was really cool I met was Jason Pearson. He was cool.
Never met him.
And I went up to him. The show's about to end. This is WonderCon back when it was in Oakland, San Francisco, wherever it was. And I just had my sketchbook with me. I was like, "Hey, you want to draw something for me?" He's like, "Oh man, show ends in 20 minutes. Yeah. Can you come back?" And he draws this full detailed Catwoman. And he's like, "Here you go." And I was like, "You want something for it?" "No, you good, bro. Thanks for coming by." And I was like, "Damn, okay." Him and Phil Hester did that for me. So did Adam Hughes. Back in, I would say, the early 2000s, those guys would draw for nothing. They didn't care. As long as you asked, they're like, "Yeah, I got you, bro." And they would give me 20 minutes, and I'd come back and be a beautiful drawing. One time I asked Liefeld, this was back in maybe 2003, 2004. This is when he left Image, and he was doing that Fighting American, that Jack Kirby book, Captain America fake.
Well,
so
first of all, it was fake.
Well, you know what I mean, though. Jack Kirby created the character. I think he even created him prior to.
It was both. It was him and Simon. They did that.
Yeah, and he got the rights to it to make the book. So I said, "Hey, can you draw some?" Because I bought it because McGinnis drew it. But I was like, "Hey, can you draw a sketch?" He just looks at me and goes, $100. I was like, "Excuse me?" "Yeah, I'll do it for $100." He goes, I don't sketch for free." I was like, "Good Lord, how much is the print?" $20. I was like, "That's not even nice." Okay, like you know what I mean? I was like, "What the hell?" And no joke, he wanted like a head sketch was like 100, a bust was like 150, full body was like $500, and I was like, "Holy crap, he is okay." Like, you just got off of Heroes Reborn. Did you look at that shit? Like, good Lord, man. you know. So, but he takes all the credit for Heroes Reborn, and he claims that rejuvenated Marvel, and he's the reason why.
It's like
just don't come up my table.
It's that weird fringe hair that he's got going on there. His hair is weird. I mean, it's still, you know, it's like weird. It's like super short, and then like it's got like two really long strands on the front. Like, why do you do that? Like, why do you just cut it even like a normal person? Nope. Can't do it. You can't do it. So never mind. No. I take it back. I was gonna be me, and I changed my mind. It'll come back to bite me. One of the guys that I used to talk to all the time was Will Spartasio, and we used to ironically talk about music all the time. I'm a musician, mostly. And,
what do you play? What instrument?
I play the bass and I play guitar. And sometimes I sing, sometimes.
Oh, you sing sometimes too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody put in the chat box at number 1 if you want him to sing.
Oh no.
And you can pick the song. It's either gonna be Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi.
Or Ave Maria.
Yeah. Or Ave Maria.
No.
You guys pick one of the two.
None of those. No. I fucking hate Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi makes me con mad. I will. Yeah, I'd sing Bon Jovi. I'd sing Bon Jovi like Gilbert Gottfried. That'll happen. That'll happen, and then the mics, the mics will peak. The speakers will blow, and everyone will be deaf. They'll be like, "What the hell just happened?"
Oh man, we got so many ones, but they're from the same person.
It'll be
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's weird. He's like, I've never heard Bon Jovi before.
I'll tell you what, though.
Can you do it?
4, 3, 2, 1. Heck, he will personally hit you up on YouTube and do a private show for you. You've voted so many. This is like American Idol. You voted so many times.
Where do I put the dollar? Here you go, little fella.
I'm a cowboy.
Yeah, like James Hetfield.
Yeah, exactly. You know what person gets imitated the most and the easiest is the lead singer of Creed.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's just
Scott Stapp.
Yeah. He's so faking it.
A good friend of mine used to play jam with him and Mark Tremonti from Creed all the time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, all the time.
You guys know all the cool people. I don't know any cool people. You know Tom Welling.
Yeah, you do. You know me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what?
What? I'm sorry.
By association, you also know Tom Welling and so on and so forth.
I've had many encounter with Ray Park. That's kind of cool.
Oh
yeah, man. Since I'm like 17, we've recreated photos together, which is kind of cool. Again, whoever it was, like people like, who the hell's Ray Park? I don't know who that is. Darth Maul.
Darth Maul.
Snake. You know they're thinking Ray Parker Jr.
Yes, Ghostbusters.
They're not thinking Ray Parker Jr.
Well, I was. Okay, don't knock the hustle.
You know that guy. Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
He got sued by Huey Lewis.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, he did.
Like the Will Spartasio, all talk about music, and he would send me videos of his artistic process and how he would draw from like markers and stuff, kind of like what Ken Lashley does, and that helped me out a lot in my early onset artistic world here. And now I don't even use that technique anymore, but if I need it, it's always there. But yeah, we used to talk all the time, and just from going to conventions and stuff, I kind of just became friendly with guys like Ken Lashley and Chris Campana, Buzz. Elliot knows Buzz. Buzz is my boy. Buzz and I have been friends for a long while. So yeah, just kind of like going to shows and stuff is how I've met a lot of people in the industry, and how I've learned to avoid a lot of people in the industry, and also kind of made me not want to ever work in that business, which is why I don't work in that business. I like doing what I do. and I have a job, so it's not like I'm, I don't have that. I don't have it in me to want to, you know, do what it is that you guys do. I'm not. That came out wrong. That sounded way wrong. How do I
Mhm.
say this, Elliot? How do I say it? How do I say it, man?
Mhm.
Help
You
me
say,
out here.
"Screw you, Elliot. Screw you.
No, 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 no,
You're a
no.
jerk. I
I don't
hate
have.
you."
I
No,
don't
no.
have the. I don't
Jerk
have
mom.
the. I don't have the gigantic cojones that you guys do
What doesn't take
to
cojones? I use my hand.
Oh, that
be
sounds
like
horrible.
cojones just to go and do what it is that you guys do. And
Share your techniques.
it takes a little. Kind of just, I don't know. I group lines together, and somehow Mickey Mouse comes out, Donald Duck, and people tend to like it, which is why my Instagram's kind of as popular as it is. Not.
Yeah, you know,
I lose followers by the day. It's amazing.
the one artist that I met once, and every time he sees me, he literally will ask me to cover his booth for him. Is Angel Medina.
Oh, he's a good
Yeah,
dude.
he drew Venom not that long ago. He just worked on Venom Dark Origin.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's a really cool dude, and every time he sees me, hey, oh, Azevedo over here. I'm like, oh, Angel, what's up? Hey, watch my booth for like 30 minutes. I want to go and walk around. I'm like, dude, what? I'm gonna sell all your Spawn stuff. Whatever, I don't care. Just chill. And then when I get back, he's like, he just hang with me for like an hour, and then we just would sit in his booth. I swear, it must have been like 5 San Diego Comic Cons in a row that I was his basically assistant every day for like an hour.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he was so chill, super chill, and
So he did work on Spawn, huh?
he drew
Yeah.
like, man, I think he drew like
Thought so.
50, maybe close to 100 issues of Spawn.
I had a feeling. I'm not obviously familiar with his work. I happen to have picked up. I happen to have picked up Venom Dark Origin last week, and I'm looking at the art, and I'm like, this looks like Todd. Like this looks a lot like Todd.
Yeah.
And even the color work on it, I'm like, this looks like an image book. And then I went, Angel Medina. I had to look him up a little bit, and I'm like, this guy looks like he would draw Spawn. And I'm sure enough.
Yeah, he drew right after Capullo. He took over because Todd wanted people that had his same flair and so
Okay.
forth. Yeah, but
That's
no
what
one, no one
like
draws
him.
like Todd though.
I'm trying to get Lafayette to draw with my flair.
Not your flair. F you.
Hey,
Hey,
Flair,
stay woke.
Oh, I'm just saying. I just wanted to just tell you. No.
I want a copycat too. I guess that's when you know you made it. Oh, this guy copied me. I'm good.
Oh, I do get that sometimes, but I haven't made it anywhere.
all the guys that like tried to copy Todd like in the 90s and early, like they're nowhere to be seen.
like who?
That's just it. I don't remember their names anymore. You know what I mean? There were guys that literally Marvel hired, and you're like, wow, this guy's a bad Todd ripoff. And then they would try their own thing. You're like, this is just horrible, and then disappeared. Like,
Well, I mean, you've got guys like Joe St. Pierre. He's still around. He's got like he literally has like the most number one off titles under his name. Like Marvel would come to him to like just draw number ones. We're gonna do this number one. Do you want it? And, and he did a bunch of Spider-Man stuff. I mean, a ton of Spider-Man stuff. I don't know. I like a lot of the 90s stuff. I like Maximum Carnage. So I like Mark Bagley. I've only met him once, and I'll be honest, it was a tough meet. That man is all business. He is all business. There's actually a video of him on YouTube. Somebody was getting a sketch done, just a quick Carnage head sketch, and it wasn't that he wasn't engaging, but like right at the get go of the video, and the kid's filming, and he's like, you know, I'm going to interrupt this to sign autographs and stuff, right? And he's like, what? He's like, you know, I'm going to interrupt this to sign autographs and stuff. You know that, don't you? I'm like, oh my God, Mark Bagley's a savage. It was awesome. But yeah, I met him shortly after that, and I'm like, oh man, how do I politely approach Mark Bagley and be like, dude, you're my like '90s Spider-Man hero.
That's weird. Yeah, there's a lot of stories like that. Who? You didn't tell me your negative story. No.
I met Chris Claremont.
Oh.
We'll leave it at that. I met Chris Claremont. It was not nice. It wasn't a good meet. Yeah, he was my negative. So far, he's been the only one. Actually, that's not true. That's not entirely true. See, so this one, it didn't start out negative. It started out like it was going to be positive, and then it turned negative, in a way, because I met this person before the show, and I went to this show specifically because this person was there, and I told them that. I was like, oh, you know, this particular artist was walking around outside of the show hours before the show started. And, you know, I said, are you so-and-so? And he says, yeah. And I said, I thought so. I recognized you by the hat. And I'm like, I'm a big fan. Love the book that you're on. Love your work. I love, you know, and was wondering, you know, if I can get on your list, because he hadn't started a list yet. If I can get on your list so I can get just a quick drawing done in my book. Absolutely. I mean, he's like, I don't even know where my table is right now, but just find me at my table and we can definitely make that happen. So this was at Boston Comic Con 2015, I want to say. 2015, no, that's not true. 2016.
Wow, so it's pretty fresh.
Oh yeah. And so the doors open. It's a catastrophe. I can't find his table. There's lines just kind of going everywhere. And like there was a huge line for Jay Lee. Eric Larson was next to Jay Lee. Like there was just people everywhere. And I had like, you know, a number one for this guy. And he was only signing at certain times. And so I find him. It takes me all of 20 minutes to find him. So I find him. I get there, and he's like, I have to disappoint you. And I was like, huh? He's like, I'm like, I finally found you. He goes, I have to disappoint you. I said, okay. He goes, my list is full. And I was like, well, he's like, yeah, my list is full, so I can't do a drawing for it. So that just talked like 20 minutes ago. And he goes, yep, there are people waiting here for me. And I was like, right. So he goes, sorry, man. And I was like, yep, no problem. I'll catch you next time. So then I'm like, well, I'll go and just I'll get my book signed later at the time that he's going to start doing the signings. So that didn't happen either. Every time I go, do I want to say?
Oh, no, don't say it. Don't say it.
Ah, fuck, I don't give a shit. It was Brian Stelfreeze.
Oh, no way.
No.
Yep.
You know what's funny? You say that he was at Stockton Comic Con, which is a fairly bigger con in Northern California, last year, right when Black Panther the book came out. You know how he took over or started the new book.
Yeah.
And there was nobody gave a shit he was there because it's one of those cons where like Buzz is there. He's always there. Yeah. They had oh man, who's the guy that they had, I'd say about 6 really big name artists, and he was one of them, but only if you were really into comics you knew who he was. And I don't think the crowd knew who the hell he was, because every time I'd glance at his table from my booth, like no one's there. So I went up to his table and we just chit chat about Black Panther, and he drew a real quick head skate. He didn't give a shit. I think he was more like, there's nobody here no one cares that I'm here.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a fairly packed convention. So, you know, like you said, he was. I think it was one of those things where, you know, he was busy at the particular con. I don't know why he blew you off. That made no sense because you saw him before anybody else saw him. You know,
Right. Now
so
this is what this is, right? That was disappointing, but this part was, and I was like, oh, I'm like, he's like, I'm like, well, what are the odds of you maybe freeing up later if you could do like a Black Panther head sketch or something in pencils in my sketchbook, you know, later towards the end of the show. I only draw one character per show, just makes things interesting, keeps things from getting boring for me. And I was like, so wait, so what you're saying is if somebody came up to you and said, can you draw, you know, Gambit or whatever, and you've drawn Gambit already, you won't draw that character again? He goes, yeah, it just keeps things, you know, interesting for me, you know, keep things from being boring, and keep saying like, oh, all right. So later that day, I went after numerous times of trying to get him to sign Black Panther #1. I never got signed. So I didn't get a drawing. I didn't get my fucking book signed because every time I went over there, there was a huge crowd. He was only signing for about 10 minutes. The final time I go over there to try and get the book signed, this kid passes out because it was so hot in the building that that he passed out directly in front of the table, and I couldn't get to him. Step over the kid who's out cold on the ground of Boston Comic Con.
Wow.
So now I'm really annoyed. So I get home and I'm like, I'm curious, and I went on. I believe the website is called comicartgallery.com or Comics Fan Gallery or something. And I just typed in Black Panther Boston Comic Con in that particular year. And Panther is like a Black Panther head sketch for like 9 people. I was so mad. And I was just like, I'm done. Like, I actually stopped reading the book at that point. I was done.
Oh man, that sucks. He didn't even.
Yeah, Yep. I was.
Oh, sorry about that. He's always been super nice when I see him, but I guess I don't like that. That's not good. That's no bueno. That's no bueno nacho.
Yeah, I was pissed.
Well, I hate to end this on that sad story.
That was pretty sad. Let's make it happier.
Okay,
anybody here like balloon and cupcakes? See, there we go. Balloons and cupcakes. Everyone, good night.
However,
none for you, Brian. None for you, Mr. Steelfish.
None for you, Brian. I did get some artwork from Ken Lashley though, so I did get my Black Panther drawing, but I just got it from a completely different artist, and I was 100% happy with that. So it worked out pretty good in the long run. Yeah.
There you go. Well, listen, man, I'm really digging that Carnage. Looking good. And
it's something. I'm battling it the whole way right now. I should have worked digitally tonight because I would have gotten more work done. But you know, I have the iPad. I have my reference in front. I have a reference in front of me right now. But I would have got more work done if I worked digitally on the Venom drawing that I did the other day.
There you go.
Yeah,
digital this time. And what do you call it? And what do you got going on there, Lafayette?
Oh, I'm still drawing your Liefeld version of your character. Yeah. This is exactly how he would have drawn it if he was like, "Oh, let me take over." Oh, quick story. You guys know who Corey Hamasher is? Hamasher?
Yeah, I know Corey.
Okay, you guys know Corey. So Corey got hired to draw Youngblood.
Did he really?
Okay, so yeah, he got hired to draw Youngblood.
I talked to him about that. He did get hired. Yep.
About 6 months ago, and so Rob's like, "You got to crank out 2 covers right now for previews." So he cranked out 2 covers in one day, sent it off, had it colored, blah blah blah. Then he's like, you have to lay out the next issue. So he lays it out, gets it ready to, you know, whatever. And he never hears a word from Rob, literally nothing until today, because Corey posted on Facebook. Everybody keeps asking me about Youngblood. I don't know anything about it. I drew 2 covers for Rob. They got in previews. I drew a whole issue, but never heard a word. And Rob Liefeld comments under his Facebook post. He puts, sorry, things change. Another artist that was supposed to be on the book dropped out. Can you please send me the layouts to get approved? I'm like, really? So you've never even seen his work he put in for you? Like, that's a total douche move, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty shitty. That's pretty shitty. Corey's a good dude too. I like Corey. I talk to him from time to time. He actually gave me some of his like high res photos of some of his inked sketches that I can do some color work on just for a laugh. Because I, aside from this traditional crap that I'm throwing out right here, for myself, because I draw mostly for myself. I do a lot of color work, just for, you know, because I work digitally too. So I was like, hey, this drawing's pretty awesome. Can I lay some color down on it just for a laugh? And he's like, oh yeah, definitely. So he sent me a couple photos. I think one of them was like a Deadpool. Another one was one of the ninjas from Mortal Kombat. Yeah, he's a great dude. I like Corey a lot. He lost a ton of weight and got all shredded.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he lost a shitload of weight.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is this the guy that kind of draws like Tom McFarlane or Eric Larson?
Yes, it kind of draws like the mixture of both. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They always have those weird kind of like angular eyes, no matter what they are.
Yeah. It reminds me. Yeah, you're right. There reminds me of Larson's art with like Capullo's texture.
Yes.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Because here's the funny thing: he actually has drawn for Eric Larson. He actually has done some work for him.
Did he work on like Prophet or something?
He did. No, he did Supreme.
Supreme. Okay.
He did a bunch of Supreme, and he did a lot of backup stories in Savage Dragon.
Oh, cool.
Because I remember the first time I saw his work, must have been years ago. I thought, who the hell is this Larson ripoff? And then Corey, I was like, oh, it's Corey. Oh well, I can't say much now. Rob Liefeld got him. Stay woke.
Are you on Lafayette? Are you on Facebook, man?
Yep.
I'll have to. I'll add you as soon as this stream ends. If the stream ever ends,
it's gonna end right now. Here we go. Yeah. Here's the finale. Elliot, take it away.
So, guys, thank you guys for hanging out with us. I appreciate you all. This has been the most controversial episode of the Jerk Manga Show, simply because.
All because of the Titans TV show. Boo! Space hookers.
I want to thank my friends.
Like, bye.
I want to thank my friends Nolan and Lafayette for joining me and making this a fun show. I appreciate all you guys. And if you guys enjoyed the show, just go ahead and click the like button. And also, if you are inclined, you may want to subscribe for more of this madness in the future. And also later on, I'll put some links in the description to let you know about some of the other things going on with me. You can go to bigbridgedesigns.com to go check out some of the new goodies I've been working on lately. Toom says, bye, Elliot. Bye, hookers.
Bye, baby.
Lord.
Somebody wrote, where's Stephen Platt? Your guess is as good as ours.
Actually, he's working in games and movies.
Yeah, he does games.
Anyway, guys, again, I appreciate you all, and I'll bid you all a good farewell. God bless you all. Peace out. Later.